Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to the top 5 reactions to life sentences part 2. Now, these videos always, I don't know why I've got kind of a morbid fascination with them. Maybe it's because I can't help but put myself in that scenario. How would I react if I just got told that the rest of my life is going to be spent behind bars? Just the complete depression, the complete overwhelming sadness, just a mix of emotions. And I just love seeing the faces of the people when they hear the news, because obviously they've done horrible things to be given those sentences. So yeah, this video I'm sure is going to be cool to watch. Let's do it.
What's going on, you guys? My name's Ty Knots and welcome to Top 5 Unknowns. 5 shocking inmate reactions part 2. Number 5. For this first clip, the case was kept relatively private, so there isn't a whole lot of information surrounding it. However, a 19-year-old named Anthony Rodriguez was sentenced to 30 years in prison back in 2013. His sentence was given after he was found guilty of sexual assault of a deaf woman from Bakersfield. He nearly got away with the crime too, though a trace of his DNA was found at the crime scene, definitively tying him to the assault. Take a look at his reaction as his sentencing was read.
It was the outburst that shocked the courtroom.
You feel good about it? Want to throw me away?
Anthony Rodriguez had just turned
You want to throw me away? He's not even saying sorry.
18 and was on probation when he was arrested for sexually assaulting a 25-year-old woman at MLK Park.
I think that it was
Why
a
did
crime
you do
of
it?
opportunity.
Why?
I truly think that she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The victim was taken 105 feet, dragged from outside the park and into the MLK Park men's bathroom where she was assaulted.
One of the really more poignant moments during the trial was that she signed no. She was signing no to him when he was sexually assaulted.
That is so sad.
You will be on.
You give a young kid like that 30 years to life, chances are you're not going to see that kid again.
Then he shouldn't have did what he did, should he? What, you want me to feel sorry for him?
With tears in his
Delusional.
eyes, Rodriguez yelled profanity, calling the ruling unfair.
That's all you do is throw people away like
down,
that.
Mr. Rodriguez, down.
Rodriguez has previous arrests for acts of violence, but nothing sexual. His family feels his sentence was a bit extreme.
He don't deserve life. He don't. There's something. I believe there's something wrong that they shouldn't have gave him this. There's something wrong that,
I mean, 30 years does seem like a lot for that, but it's still a horrible, imagine if that woman was your relative or something. Like, how would you feel?
about things they didn't bring out in court.
Yeah, I don't know. Still,
Number
though,
4.
messed up thing to do, completely messed up.
A man from Michigan recently broke down in court after being told he'd be sent to prison for life without the possibility of parole. This is due to the fact that he abused his girlfriend's 4-year-old son to death, essentially crushing him with his bare hands. The man had previously been found guilty of numerous drug and gun charges, but this is the first one to ever land him in federal prison. Take a look at a clip from his emotional outburst while in
Know
court.
the details of the case? You really just want to talk with your attorney?
The man accused of abusing a 4-year-old boy, a boy who died, broke down as he was charged with murder. Ellis Nelson Ortiz Nieves is now being held in the Kent County Jail without bond.
So the first count is called felony murder, life without parole.
The 25-year-old suspect broke down when the charges against him were outlined by a judge today.
They're alleging you murdered one Giovanni Miajes. It is called felony murder. It is a felony.
His adult record includes drugs and gun charges.
There are really some sickos out there, man. Some sick people.
But he has a juvenile record that goes back 13 years before he even became a teenager. He also has charges of car theft, shoplifting, assault with a weapon, receiving and concealing stolen goods. At the mobile home near Kentwood where Giovanni died, there were numerous stops by Kent County investigators and CPS over the past 4 years. Yesterday, the father of Giovanni's half-siblings told us he had contacted authorities.
Who did you call? I've called the cops, have been involved, CPS multiple times have been involved, the school was involved.
but nothing rose to the level where courts would step in and remove the children.
Oh my God. That seems like negligence from the courts and the school. I mean, come on. There was probably bruising on his body before.
Number 3.
Rot in hell, Giovanni, or whatever your name is.
In 2013, a young man was given a life sentence without parole after he was found guilty of taking the life of an older woman, 78-year-old Barbara Olson. Barbara was his great-grandmother who lost her life after being bludgeoned with a hammer and hatchet. His motive behind his actions remains a bit unclear, but take a look at his courtroom response after hearing the verdict.
Instead of starting his freshman year in high school, 14-year-old Antonio Barbo will go to prison. He showed varying emotions in court, at times wiping tears from his face. Then Barbo smirked and shook his head when the prosecutor spoke. He read only a few words from his own statement.
There's a lot going around said by the news, DA, and many other people that I'm a cold, heartless, careless killer. That's not true.
Barbo pled no contest and was convicted of killing his great-grandmother.
Why?
He and his friend bludgeoned Barbara Olson to death with a hatchet and hammer. The prosecutor says the boy stole $150 and used the cash to buy pizza and pot.
They really don't care about rehabilitation. They just want to put them away so they can't, they understand the seriousness of the crime.
Barbo will almost certainly start his prison sentence at the Department of Corrections, Lincoln Hills School for Boys, north of Wausau.
Has this crime indeed divided your family?
Yeah. Yep, sure has. It sure has. Big time.
What's going on in
Number
society?
2.
What the hell is happening?
A man from Castle Rock was recently sentenced to 160 years in prison after leading police on a 60-mile car chase that resulted in the injury of a state trooper. During the sentencing, audio recordings were played that
160 years. God, they dropped the hammer on him.
Showed that the man, Ryan Stone, showed no remorse for his actions and was actually heard bragging about them, displaying complete disregard for his injured victim. In all, he was found guilty of 18 separate charges, including first-degree assault and even child abuse. Check out a clip from his sentencing.
A high-speed chase through 5 Metro Denver counties. At times, cars were ditched and drivers thrown out the door.
Wow.
At one point,
it's like Grand Theft Auto.
A 4-month-old boy was strapped in a back seat.
No way.
My lawyer told me I made the news in the UK and Australia.
For the first time since last year's chase, we are seeing a jailhouse conversation.
He's
Driver
bragging.
Ryan Stone hoped to profit from his internet fame after the video was posted online.
You get paid by YouTube. So, Channel 7 News, I believe, is
He's talking about ad revenue when you're in prison, dude.
going to be the one that gets paid for that. Well, I'm going to contact Channel 7 News.
During his sentencing in court, Stone made an apology, yet wouldn't take responsibility, blaming his escapade on drugs. He asked the judge to give him a break.
I pray you leave me time to start a family of my own.
Shut up. Shut up.
With my beautiful wife.
That
Start a
didn't
family
happen.
of my own.
Stone was sentenced
Fuck
to
off.
160 years in prison.
Those angels up there actually pulled me out of the way.
Trooper Bellum and he almost died. Stone struck him while he was trying to throw out stop sticks.
I proudly wear this badge, and I want to continue to be able to do so, to be able to return to full active duty in the next couple of months.
A crime spree caught from the sky, ending with a career criminal going nowhere but prison.
This guy's a menace, and he is gone from us now, and we are better for it.
Mate, he's never coming out, is he? Never. Even if they cut it in half, that's still 80 years. He's gone, man.
Number 1. A young man was convicted of taking the life of a film student, and while attending his sentencing had to be tackled to the ground, pepper sprayed, and restrained after hearing he would receive life in prison without parole. In his outburst, he began screaming, "I hate you," to the members of the courtroom, further displaying what the judge called a complete lack of impulse control. Take a look at the terrifying footage from the courtroom.
21-year-old UWM student Nathan Potter was shot to death in a robbery last July as he walked to his River West apartment after a night out. He wasn't carrying any money.
Judge, there's nothing that can be said to bring back our Nathan. But your sentence can ensure that Shondell does not have the opportunity as a free man to inflict pain like this again. Is there such thing as pure evil? We think so.
At his sentencing today, 19-year-old Shondell Jackson was facing a mandatory life term for pulling the trigger, but hoped for a chance at parole, a hope dashed by Judge Rebecca Dallett, who gave him life without parole, sparking the outburst.
What the hell? What is he doing? What is he doing? What the heck is going on?
It all started when Jackson turned towards the Potter family, something deputies were watching for.
Why are you looking at the family for, dude? What the fuck? You want to inflict even more pain?
At the sentencing today, prosecutors played this 12 News video of Jackson's February conviction when Jackson gestured to the Potter family several times.
What's wrong with
cursed
him?
at them. And as he was let out of court, our camera caught him smiling at the
Deranged.
victim's family.
Fucking deranged.
We see how evil Shondell is in court, looking at us, swearing at us, and smiling.
The judge said Jackson's past behavior in court influenced his getting the maximum sentence. Jackson's angry family members today shouted support to him as he was led away, and one screamed at Potter's family as she left the courtroom.
Our little girl was afraid. She was afraid that he was going to try and kill one of us.
Oh, my God.
She was afraid.
You know, I hope that as he spends the rest of his life in jail, that he comes to terms with it and does value human life.
Yeah, that guy, give him 2-3 years in there, he's going to be filled with regret. So much regret and pain. Yeah. Oh.
And that there is some redemption for him at some point. But that's totally up to him. And for his family to say to us, we hate you, what's that all about? We didn't do anything to him.
Exactly. I don't get that. Fuck.
Thank you.
God, there are some real sickos in the world. I just hope that, you know, me, my family, friends, and you guys never, you know, cross paths with them, because there's just people who don't seem to have normal human thoughts, feelings, logic, rationale. Why would you just see, you know, you just see a woman by herself and you want to assault her? I don't understand that. Why would you do that? You see a random kid, like, it's just, I don't get it. Obviously their brains are different from mine. Like, clearly, maybe they're just born without a conscience. It's just, why? Like, why would you want to do something so bad and evil? And you're going to get caught, you're going to get sent to prison for life. You're just throwing your life away. Insane stuff. I really hope we all keep safe, honestly. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.